What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. Thank you very much for being part of this. I'm greeting you right now, South Africa. Greetings to you. Greeting to Namibia, Malawi, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Nigeria. Greetings to Tanzania. Greetings to the UK, to America, all the people that are following us in the Caribbean. I see you, Jamaica, and all over. Greetings to you, fellas. Thank you very much for being part of this. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, if this is your first time, I encourage you to join the crew so we can make our voice bigger. Please subscribe right now if it's not done yet. And you know what this is. Okay, so today we're talking about something very interesting. There's a president of Burkina Faso. If you don't know Burkina Faso, please guys put a map of Burkina Faso for our brothers and sisters that are all over the world, so they can see where Burkina Faso is. Burkina Faso is a beautiful country in Africa, but it is hot. It's very hot. Yeah, please ask the president to reduce the temperature because it's very hot. Beautiful people, some of the most loving people I've ever met in my life. So the president of Burkina Faso went to Russia, along many other African presidents, on the Russian-African summit that took place a few days ago. He's a young man. He's 35 years old, a soldier. His name is Ibrahim Traore. Very strong man. We're going to listen to what he has to say, and we make a comment right after, okay? Let's go.
Уважаемый господин президент, дорогие друзья, прежде всего хочу выразить вам признательность за то, что вы откликнулись на приглашение и нашли возможность принять участие в работе второго саммита Россия-Африка. Думаю, вы согласитесь со мной, встреча была полезной, разнообразной, люди высказывали свои мнения, и эти мнения были разными, но все-таки вся работа проходила в духе дружбы, взаимопонимания, поиска.
So as you can see, very charismatic president coming out of the car, looking strong and very, strong in his position. It's amazing to see. Back in time, we used to see people that are 35 and very strong. Nowadays, you see a lot of people that are 35 and lazy, 30, 40, still staying at his parents' house, doing nothing for himself. But look, this very young man, 35 years old, is the president of a republic. A very strong man.
And we were searching for solutions to any problem, and everybody was interested in finding such solutions. During the summit, we discussed different areas of cooperation between our country and the African continent, and our today's meeting will help us to talk about our bilateral relations and maybe set some plans for their further development. The countries between our countries, our relations are friendly. Traditionally, last year we celebrated 55 years since the diplomatic relations were established between our countries. We know that in your country, everybody likes Russia and you are interested in our country. And I heard about that from your short address yesterday. On our part, we also think that it is very important to develop relations with Burkina Faso. We decided to
As you can see, he is clearly a very strong man. Mr. Putin, with a lot of experience, clearly show that Russia is very happy to have them because the basis is in this very time of isolation where the world is trying to isolate Russia. It is very necessary for Russia to create a bond with other countries, especially the countries that feel that they are diminished, countries that feel that they are neglected. It was very important for them to show to the world that we're getting the support from all these African countries that are actually looking forward to working with us on a respect basis.
The activities of the Russian embassy, which was closed in 1992, and I'm sure that our embassy will help us to continue to develop our relations. Our political dialogue is consistent. In December 2022, your Prime Minister of your transitional government visited Russia. And in June, there were talks between our defense ministries. Also, the inter-parliamentary connections are being strengthened, which is also important. And we're ready to develop our trade and economy ties.
So as you can hear, the embassy of Russia was closed in Burkina Faso in the 1990s. Because obviously at the time, the president was working with the West. And working with the West sometimes means you need to cut off Russia and China. But as you can see now, they've come to an agreement that they're going to reopen this embassy in order to facilitate exchange and businesses and many more.
Our trade is not as impressive. The level of trade is not as impressive, even compared to the level of trade with other African countries. But we're also working together on different agreements and treaties concerning civil aviation and sports and education and qualifications. We will continue to help your country in its professional development, and we are ready in 2023-2024. We will have financial aid for 10 students from your country, and we can increase that number if there is enough interest. There is coordination between our countries concerning international relations, and we work together in the UN format as well as other international organizations. In June, Russia contributed to the UN's food security program to make sure that there's help sent to certain African countries. We contributed $10 million, and $2.5 million will go to Burkina Faso. Dear President, dear colleagues and friends, we are happy to welcome you here in Russia, and I'm happy that we can meet here today. Thank you.
So if you look at the delegation of Burkina Faso, they're all dressed like soldiers. Okay, this is a very strong message they're trying to pass. And the president is saying very clearly, we need to create more business between us. You can see trade between us is very, very low at this time. And this comes with the territory because Russia's embassy has been closed for so many years. But now things have changed. We've come forward. We're taking things within our own hand. Now we're trying to change things and we want business with Russia.
Bonjour à tous.
Hello to everyone. Mr. President, it's a great honor for me to be here today at the second summit of the Russia-Africa Forum, as you pointed out yesterday. And I would like to express friendship at this important stage. Russian people and the people of Burkina Faso are friends. Russia is conducting a special military operation. I would like to assure you that we support you, your government. Our people support your government. Yesterday, we held a number of meetings, and we noticed the variety of different problems that we encounter. And this morning, we will be able to talk about our bilateral relations more. You talked about the embassy, the Russian embassy. Well, it was the Soviet embassy, which was closed in 1992, but we already took certain steps that would help you open the embassy again. I think that your military mission would also be helpful in our region because there's a lot of turbulence in our region, and we would like to see changes in our policies. Some of our traditional partners are turning their backs to us, and now we can see who our real friends are. And Russia is our real friend and has been a real friend since we were a colony and continues to support us even today. I think that during the summit you learned about the events.
As you can see, this president is very brave. You know, he's talking about congratulations on your special operation in Ukraine. I mean, any other president of any other country will be afraid to say that, because when you say special operation, it's like you're putting your fingers in the eyes of the countries that believe this is an aggression. You get it? If you say this is a special operation, Ukraine is not going to be happy with you. America won't be happy with you. France, Germany, Belgium, and all other countries, Poland will not be happy with you because you are perpetuating the narrative of the Russians by saying we encourage you in your special operation in Ukraine. You have our support. So by saying that, you clearly saying you are the enemy of Ukraine. But as you can see, this man is very strong. He's not afraid to express himself.
Have different partners in this fight, but we're all neighbors, and I hope that we will be able to be effective in this fight. Today, we're going to hold a meeting with the government of the Russian Federation, And it's like you said, there's a lot of potential for our bilateral relations, but we signed an agreement between a Russian company and the businessmen from our country. We are talking about the exports, and we hope that we will be able to develop this industry.
It's clearly saying that we have a lot of business to offer, and we think it's going to be a good opportunity for many Russian entrepreneurs. Many Russian businessmen can come to our country and exchange with us. Why do they prefer Russia? Because Russia has a sense of respect toward other countries. They don't come to your country trying to impose you how to live. They don't come to your country tell you this is how you must operate. If you do not respect A, B, C, D, E, we're not going to work with you. Russia comes, you do business, they get their profit, you get your profit, and everybody goes. So there's a level of respect.
Some of our traditional partners are turning their backs to us, and now we can see who our real friends are. And Russia is our real friend and has been a real friend since we were a colony, and continues to support us even today. I think that during the summit you learned about the events in Niger, where the military took over the government, and that affects us directly. And I mentioned that in my address yesterday. I also met with some heads of states on the sidelines of the summit, and they shared about things that happen in their countries, in our region. So indirectly, something that these are the challenges that Russia notices. So I think that we need to take into account these parameters in our diplomatic relations, and I also think that we need to work towards lifting all sanctions, and we want to see a multipolar world where every country is sovereign. We are fighting against terrorism currently, and we have different partners in this fight, but we're all neighbors. And
the bottom of this, fellas, you can see Ibrahim Traoré, who's a very strong young president, wants to send a message. His country is ready to work. There is a country named Niger that also have overthrown the president a few days ago. Niger obviously was also colonized by the French. So as you can see, brothers, many countries that were colonized by the French are very slowly overthrowing the government. Why? Because most of the government were actually puppet of the French. Now they want to take things within their own hand. But right now, Niger is being sanctioned by Western countries. And Ibrahim Traoré is just very young president. He's saying very clearly, we need to support Niger in their fight right now as they're trying to get liberated. We need to give them support, provide them whatever they need so they can withstand whatever pressure they're encountering right now. As you can see, as much as this man is very strong, he also have a lot of solidarity toward other African countries. And I'm just very afraid because usually people like this don't live too long. Yeah, because before him was Papa Thomas Sankara. For those of you who don't know, he was a very strong man. He was the first president to reduce his own salary. Yes, this African president reduced his own salary. He said to his government, from now on, nobody's going to move around in a Mercedes or any expensive car anymore while our people are suffering. We're going to drive very cheap cars so that we can put the money together to rebuild this country. He was the first president in Africa to bring into the government women working. Yes, he respected women. And this man, as you can see, is working very slowly in the path of Thomas Sankara. Thank you very much, fellas, for the support. Let's support Burkina Faso in this fight. Obviously, Africa is slowly waking up. People are seeing things for what they are. Please don't go without leaving a comment. It's always beautiful to read from you and get an insight that helps us grow together. God bless.